Hello everyone, and welcome back to Black Dahlia. Last time, we began our new investigation into trying to find a connection between our Brotherhood of Thule case and the Torso Killer case, which has led us to the home of the first victim, Angelo Santini. Let's check out his home.
This is his room. The police already searched it many times. I don't know why you need to see it again.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just new to the case. Just thought I'd have a look around, see if I could see anything that maybe some of the other detectives might have missed.
You leave things the way you found them. You won't disturb anything.
You won't even know I've been here, ma'am. I'll leave this place exactly as I found it. I was raised to pay respect for the departed.
Alright, of course. New eyes, fresh eyes, maybe some new perspective. We can talk to Angelo's mother.
Do you know of anybody that would have wanted to harm your boy, ma'am?
Everyone loved my Angelo. He was a sweet angel.
Do you recall him getting into any fights? Someone with a grudge against your son?
My Angelo was not killed because of a grudge. He was killed by a monster. My boy never hurt nobody. He was a good boy.
I'm sure he was, ma'am. I'm sure he was.
I'm going to leave you alone now. I would just be in your way here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I might have missed something in the case files from the last video, but based on the 8 victims of the Torso Killer, Angelo is the youngest of the victims. 19 when he was struck down. Interesting why he would be the first victim. Maybe we'll find some reason in order to see why that would be the case. Interesting thing you can do in Angelo's room is pull down some shades. Not really any purpose to them on their own, but it's something just to point out, really. The other thing you can do in here is pretty much look at a whole bunch of different things, including a pegboard, a solitaire pegboard. Honestly, like, honest to God, you can go ahead and try and play a game of solitaire if you really want to. In order to just, like, empty all of them out. All of it is for your benefit, so in this case I'm just gonna go and, like, screw it. And I'm just gonna make them all just kind of be put out here. Yes, I'm gonna disturb nothing. See, I disturbed absolutely nothing. Everything is back as it should be. I touched nothing. Ah. You can also leave at any time, but I want to make sure that we look at everything. Baseball posters. And over there. Yeah, for the Cardinals. Huh. Aspiring athlete? Possibly. On his desk we can kind of look at some other things there. He was a doodler. No, I'm really fond of actually people who do doodle. Some people find it a little bit distracting, but for me, I'm like, any way in order to improve your art or keep drawing, I'm all for doodling. Not much inside the drawer that we can really look at. Just some other knickknacks and whatnot. Chair, table, more windows. Each window that we can actually go and inspect and do the same thing. So that kind of gets you thinking about what kind of things could possibly be inside this room. Based on the fact that all 4 windows can be examined and you can pull down the drapes of all 4. So let's take advantage of that, maybe. All we really have is the bedside table here. Lamp we can't use. Peep show. Don't keep it under the bed, just keep it in the bedside dresser. Either his mother had respect or didn't look. Now, the thing about this is that all of the blinds by themselves don't work. But you might remember that Mrs. Santini closed, or turned on the light when we came in. This page, weirdly enough, is kind of a hint of what you need to do in order to find something in this room. Turn blackout. Is that a guitar in here? So, let's go around, turn off the light, and get a new perspective on everything. Now, it's not enough to just kind of turn off the light in this room. What we need to actually see is a better light elsewhere, possibly in the room. There's a light right outside, street light. Maybe we'll get something here. Hey, take a look at that.
So, Angelo and Louis knew each other. And why doesn't it surprise me to see two torso victims hanging out in the clubroom of the Brotherhood of Thule?
So Angelo was involved with the Raven Room, or at least with Louis specifically. Strange. Alright. So it seems to be what we were just kind of looking inside for. It's the Santini photo. Yeah, there he is. And they're right by the tapestry of the geocentric model of the solar system. Huh. Alrighty. Got a weird hand in there. That is... whose hand is that? It's neither of theirs. Either that or Louis double-jointed. Yeah. Alright. Well, before we leave this room, there is actually something that I can point out here. It's been 3 discs since I've showed this off. Heck, it's been since the first episode that I have shown any of these off, but it's Easter egg based. There are Easter eggs in Black Dahlia. The first one is you spinning around enough for Pearson to get dizzy. I showed that off in the first episode. But the rest of them are actually a lot later in the game. The next one is actually now. Holding down the shift key and then clicking on the specific thing that you need might activate an Easter egg. For instance, if you try leaving the Santini home...
I told you not to touch anything, you son of a bitch!
I'm sorry I touched your the pegs. Jeez. No, it's super good. Honestly, I would love a gift that. Otherwise, that's pretty much all we can do in the Santini room for now. It'll be a little bit before we actually return to that. But we have this photo. Let's take it back to Marillo. See what we can actually get out of it, might. Because he's got more information than Dick will give us at any time of the day.
What can I do for you, Pearson?
Can I show him the Santini photo? Oh, no. Interesting enough. Honestly, never tried that before, but I guess not. We can't ask if Winslow? Return the evidence?
Has Winslow returned the evidence yet?
Yeah. The newspaper we found with him is in the file. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? Think you can find something in that?
Too soon to tell, Detective.
It is definitely way too soon to tell. Alright. Got another Inquirer. It has a 4 on it. As well as saying, I shall not pass. And there might be something else on top of that, but I've never been able to make it out at this point still. Definitely has a message on there. Something to keep in mind, once again, with every other thing that we have seen on the papers. Anyway.
Thanks, Detective.
Anything for you, kid.
Alright. Other than seeing the torso case file over and over and over from Marillo, there's not much else that we can do. So, we've been holding off a whole bunch of different puzzles at this point in Disc 4. And at this point, there is really only one more puzzle that we are required to finish at this point in order to get some more information out of this. That is back with Madame Cassandra at the Psychic Parlor. Any other puzzle that we do right now, including anything with the Raven Room specifically, is optional for Disc 4. You can either do it now, and there are a couple of walkthroughs online that actually say, or actually have you do the Raven Room now in Disc 4, but you don't have to. You can leave it till Disc 5, and continue it on with it there. And technically for me, it makes a little bit more sense order-wise in order to leave the Raven Room right now. So, let's head back to Madame Cassandra and continue on with our trans adventures.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Cassie.
Jeez. Dottie, number 1 in my book for today. Alright. Madame Cassandra, we have some planetary traveling in order to do with your puzzle. Let's take a look at the astrology book.
Do you mind
again.
if I have another look at that book?
Not at all.
Now, this next puzzle that we're going to be doing involves the importance of 2 of the 6 pieces of information that correspond with the planets. The astrological number and the symbol. For the life of me, though, I have not really understood how this puzzle is supposed to be solved. I've tried thinking of it in a geocentric manner. I've tried thinking of it in the order of the planets that you need to go through when you're actually doing the puzzle. I've tried thinking of it in terms of competing with the astrological signs of the different astrological numbers of the different planets. Nothing honestly makes sense to me. But we'll give it a shot. I'll try and walk you through it anyways. Time to go back into a trance.
Could you put me in a trance?
Of course. Let's begin. Now relax. Concentrate on the locket. Block everything else out. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate.
Okay, here we go, once again. So, our first step is to really figure out just like what we're supposed to be doing here. We have a choice between either going to the moon or going to Saturn. So, if you're looking at it in terms of the symbols, one, you have to realize that one is Saturn and one is the moon, obviously. The other case is, the way I kind of thought about it while trying to figure out this puzzle is comparing the astrological numbers with each other, which is higher, which is lower. And I came across a pattern for myself. In this case, Saturn's number is lower than the moon's number. So I would go there first. Which would give me 2 more options, which is the Earth or Mars. In this case, I would go the opposite direction. Mars's number is higher than Earth's. Now we have Mercury, and we have Earth once again. I want to go with Mercury because, again, it is higher than Earth. Then we have Venus, Jupiter. I want to go with Venus because, again, it is higher than Jupiter. Then we have the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun has a higher number than Jupiter. So then we have the Moon and the Earth. The Moon also has a higher number than the Earth. And then we have Jupiter and the Earth. Jupiter also has a higher number than the Earth. And then we have the Earth and the Sun. At this point, you might be noticing, oh, each of my jumps has been to a new symbol in the astrological planets. That is also true of the puzzle, but all of them, except for the first one, has involved having a higher astrological number than the others. So as long as you're not repeating symbols over and over again, you should be good. So the final one, of course, is Earth, which has the lowest number of only 4. This leads us to actually having 3 options in front of us. We can either go back to one of the other planets, or a different planet. No symbol on it whatsoever. Let's go. And so we arrive at a rather odd place. Not really much more I can say about it. We don't get a whole lot of explanation about it. Let's just say it has some importance. Not a lot of places we can honestly go. In fact, we can't go back after we have actually moved forward. Which leads us to this. A pool. A pool with a bunch of stones within it. All of these stones have different symbols on them. And we'll get to know a little bit more about why each symbol is different as we go ahead and click on each stone. Interesting. Seeing Sullivan that way. Let's try another one. Now that's intriguing. Whoever that was supposed to be. Maybe we recognize one of the guys, but the other two kind of escape me. Huh. And get used to seeing Pearson's really, confused face of, duh? Because we're going to see it for all of them. No matter what color stone he's actually going to put in. This one has a locket shape to it. Ooh, that's actually a little bit of a creepy face there, but you might be figuring out what we're actually seeing here. So each of the stones, presumably, is what Madame Cassandra was talking about earlier in the disc. We were branded, and something was taken off of us that was connected to us personally. For instance, Pearson's St. Christopher's medal was taken during the scuffle with Louis and the SS soldier that was shooting at us. Whoever this guy is, he has a hold of it, and now is able to see us at any time he drops in this stone. The same for the other people that he's also apparently taken tokens from. Even Sullivan apparently has taken his glasses, of all things. Some symbols have a little bit more obvious meaning than others. For instance, this one just looks like two hands. So if that looks familiar to you, that is actually Angelo Santini. That was his room from a completely different perspective. And we got a fish. Sometimes, apparently, the symbol on the stone has more to do with the person than the object that was taken from them. For instance, Louis the fish. I might as well just put a fish on a stone, and then I know that it's Louis' stone. Probably that is the same kind of thing, maybe, with Santini's stone? And we have one with a clover on it. Based on that, I would assume that would be Ernie instead of Louis, because why would there be two stones for Louis? But that's pretty much all of the stones that we're able to look at this point. In terms of everything that we saw there with all 7 stones, there was one piece of information that we gleaned from that. And we will figure that out once we break out of our trance and return to the real world. We will go ahead and pursue that. So, I will see you next time, everyone, as we go and return to one of our locations and look for something that we weren't able to look for before. See you next time, everyone.